This video is presented by the EA Creator Network. Thanks to EA for allowing me to get you guys this early access footage. Everything that's being shown is also a work in progress and subject to change. Alright boys, it is Dcroft here, and today we are playing Civil in College Football 26. Now, I'm going to be using Florida in this game. I really like DJ Lagway in this game. I think he's actually one of the better quarterbacks that I have used so far. And they just have a really, really good offense in this game. Now, you guys can see my playbooks. We are rocking UCLA on offense, 3-3-5 tight on defense. Let's go ahead and get into the game against Civil. Remember, everything you are seeing is a work in progress. All right, boys, let's go ahead and quickly talk about Florida's roster. Now, obviously, you have DJ Lagway with the Platinum Extender ability. And halfback, you don't really have anybody too crazy fast right here. I have like the head first ability so far, but this is really where the team gets crazy. Got a lot of fast receivers on this team. You've got a good tight end. Very, very good offensive line here, too. Defensively, they have Tyreek Sapp right here. Definitely a solid player. In terms of the rest of the defense, they don't really have anything too insane. They've got a couple of good secondary players here. I'll scroll through like the linebackers right here. I actually really do like Grayson Howard. I actually remember using a card of him last year. Secondary is a little bit above average. Devin Moore was actually a cut demon last year. Big fan of him. And then here's a look at both of their safeties right here. Civil's going to be using Alabama for this game. Alabama, the biggest thing, they have a very good roster. They just don't have a quarterback. I know right now they're actually in a quarterback battle. I actually don't know who he's going to use in this game. He's ready to play. Let's get into it. Civil is going to be rocking Tripp's tight end in this game. I believe he's in Minnesota. I could be wrong with that, though. He's been a very big fan of this formation for a very long time. Now, I do like running match against this, so I'm at least going to start off in match as... Please don't just be a touchdown on the first play. Well, boys, it's a rough start. Civil calls a counter right there. People don't really call counters typically out of this. Great run call by him. I was actually setting up pass defense right there. He does end up going with a run and getting an early 7. So we are going to be rocking this UCLA offense and more of this gun bunch right here. Now right here, just going to take my check down, calling bunch of vertical. It's one of my favorite plays within this game. But the reason why I really like this formation, I feel like it's just very easy to space the field, and I'm a fan of that. You know, I think a lot of offenses can't space the field very well, and I feel like with this offense, I just never have a problem. I feel like it's always very easy for me to get people open. And right there, boys, up top, he's not able to get back there with his switch stick. We are able to get 7, but one of my favorite things in offense is to correctly space the field. It's a great tip that I can give you guys. When you're playing offense, make sure you just don't have routes running to the same area of the field at the same time. We're going to make sure that you are looking for players and their routes that are going to be running and complementing each other very well. Back on defense here, I'm going to try to play a little bit more disciplined in terms of defense here. Definitely just giving up a big run right there. Not an ideal start to any game that you play, let alone somebody that is going to be good like Civil. And I think for me, run defense and leverage is a big thing in this year's game. And I actually shifted my defensive line the other way, and then he ran the ball to really where I just was weak on defense. So I got to just make sure that I am doing a good job at just putting my defensive players in a good spot where they're not just going to easily be like outflanked. Anything along the lines of that. Right here, liking the defense that we have. He might have something late, and yeah, that's what I'm kind of worried about. I thought he was going to have something like there. Great patience by him to find that dot. So we are sticking in match right here. We are running just a little bit of cover 6 right here. Kind of just trying to get a feel for, you know, how he does against match. He's doing a good job at just finding easy checkdowns, though. I'm okay giving up flags. You know, this game so far, it's kind of like a bend but don't break game in a lot of the good people I play. All right, mixing in a little bit of a blitz here. He is able to pick it up. Trying to hit stick. He's going to get a good first down there. RPO by him right there. Good run defense by us. We're going to try a little bit of man here. Now, for me personally, I don't know how I feel in man when I don't have like crazy man coverage corners. I feel like man with good man corners obviously is very good. But if you have like lower overall DBs, which, you know, a lot of this team does have, it does tend to be a little bit tougher in terms of getting stops in man. Now right here, he's going to have that wheel route. I know how much he loves these auto motion wheel routes. Whenever I've played Civil this year, he loves these auto motion wheel routes on the sideline. He was a big fan of them in Madden 25, and he's trying to find offenses that's very similar to those this year too. All right, and you guys are going to see it again here. Another auto motion play. Don't think anything's really open. He's gonna try to find the running back post route at the goal line there. I thought we were there. He had a good pass lead though. Kind of just honestly more of a pass lead just to stay away from potentially having it be a pick. I don't even think he was trying to hit a completion there. I think he was just trying to avoid it being potentially a pick. The second drive on offense here, and it looks like, okay, he's using his safety right here. Typically when people use their safety, it's more often than not going to be a very aggressive style of blitz. Right there, he actually drops into coverage. Kind of not the best play called by me. And there it is right there. He's going to send a very aggressive blitz right there. It's up to a big thing that they did in this game is set up more pass protection stuff. I am sending 5 people out. He did send a pretty heavy blitz right there. They're going to just make sure that I am being just kind of mindful, right, at who I am blocking. I'm going to be sending out 5 out a decent amount against this style of defense, though. We're going to do base blocking right here. I'm actually going to untarget his user. Obviously, you can see his user moving around, so I'm not anticipating that guy being on the blitz here. We are going to have the corner route on the sideline, but untarget, one of my favorite features in this game. It's very good if you know somebody is on a specific player, because typically no one's ever going to use a rush, especially from like the linebacker level, right? If you're on a linebacker, you're more likely than not just going to be lurking and using the middle of the field. And that's part of the chess match in this year's game too, is, you know, what's actually, are people going to start user rushing at a point? So for me, again, like I'm going to just, again, I'm going to base block right here. And I'm going to simply just untarget this defender. All I'm doing, by the way, is I'm holding down left bumper, and then I'm essentially just hitting Y and then putting the flame on his user, right? So again, just not worried about him being on the blitz. Now, if he does blitz though, it is going to come in free because I'm having my offensive line not pick it up. 2nd and 3 here. This is one of my favorite baby dots in this game. Tight end flats are such a staple of bunch. They're just such a good safe route to throw. You know, you're always going to be able to pick up, I'd say at least like 5 yards, unless they have a hard flat there. Just going to run a little bit of a halfback base right here. I don't have the fastest running back ever. He is a platinum ability player though. He does get head first is what he gets. And that's just going to make my trucking a lot better in this game, right? I don't know what I think the best skill move is so far this year. I've been trying to like mess around with skill moves. Again, just try to get a feel for what skill move I do think is the best. Right there, I think we have this streak, and we do clear out one of my favorite plays in this game. And DJ Lagway is dotting so far. 1st and 10 here, and we are going to be blitzing him right here. We're going to send a little bit more of just a standard 4-man pass rush right here and see how it does. He's going to be sending his running back out on a route. He's going to hit one of these curls. I'm telling you guys, curls are such a good route in this year's game. 1st and 10 here, up 4 in this game. One of the things that he's doing against this man coverage is he's always running these auto motion plays. It's something that it's just very good man beating plays is when you run these auto motion plays. And really for someone like me who is running a decent amount of man this game, I almost have to think about just getting out of man coverage because of how good these auto motion cheat wheels are. So getting out of man right here, he's just playing it a little bit too well. Not exactly, I'm just not exactly loving what I'm seeing whenever he does go to man. We are just gonna, again, we're gonna run match out of this look instead. I do really like match against trips. I've always felt like match has been a very good trips defense. He's gonna go to a little bit of a cheat motion counter. Okay, just make the tackle. Okay, thank you. Running a little bit of an RPO right here. We did have the RPO manned up. He's able to make a crazy spin and get 7 there. 1st and 10 here. One of the things that I think is a really cool route this year are going to be these return routes. New route that they did add this year is going to such a great area of the field. You know, they're a very tough route to auto-guarded man coverage too. They're typically going to be a great man coverage beating route. And it's something that I'm going to be really looking for probably more as this game goes on. Ooh, okay, so he's running a little bit of press coverage here, which surprises me because of how fast my receivers are. I was looking for the check down right there. Luckily for him, he was able to get a shed. Ooh, wow, he sends a screamer, but that's DJ Lagway with one of my favorite abilities last year, Platinum Extender, able just to shed off that blitzer and find a wide open dot. So it looks like he is going to be running a little bit more press man here. I do think press man is good. I do think with like the really good DBs, it's something that is potentially very, very good in this game. We should have the post route over the middle. Oh, we had it. I just wish he didn't have that jumping animation right there. Nothing really open. He had it manned up. We are able to click on it. Get kind of a crazy catch right there. What he's doing a lot right here, by the way, so he's manning up his user to the solo side receiver. So whenever he switch sticks off, he's just going to hope that that man coverage does take it away. So for me, that's something I just have to be mindful of here. It's just taking basically just reading exactly what his user defender is in. So when he switch sticks off of him, he's going to go into that specific assignment. All right, first and goal from the 1. He did just take a timeout here. Now, the one thing I do really like about this head first ability is you guys just saw it light up. Very, very good in the red zone. All right, boys, we are going to be putting the ball in DJ Lagway's hands. A little bit of a quarterback power dive into the end zone. Good stuff, Lagway. All right, 1st and 10. He is going to be running a little bit of this auto motion play again here. One of his favorite plays in this game. We're just not fast enough. That is cover athlete Ryan Williams. For those that did not know, he was 17 last year too. Might be 18 now. So far, I've just not had an answer for his trips. It really just feels like anything that he wants to throw is open. All right, we're going to run some stunts here, boys. Nothing else I feel like is really generating a ton of pressure right now. So I want to run a stunt here to see what happens. Sadly, I think it's because we had our D-line pinch right there. The stunt didn't exactly go exactly how I wanted it to. All right, going to try running a little bit of a loop blitz here. Just, again, trying to get any type of pressure. We play better defense right there. That's our best defensive snap probably this game. Doesn't really look like anything's open. Now, we only did send 3. I was accidentally clicked onto a big boy right there. He was actually able to do a good enough job covering the middle of the field there. 3rd and 11 here. Kind of on fringe field goal range here, too. I don't exactly know how close he has to be or how close he feels comfortable with in terms of making a field goal. And right there, we are able to get a pick, though. Please go. Oh, I was really hoping we got 7 there. All right, this could be a really big game-changing part of the game. We were just able to get a pretty crazy stop right there. That's actually one of the few times I've seen curl routes been played. We're going to hit our corner route right there. And if we can get 7 here, I feel really comfortable in this game. Have to watch the pressure right here, and yeah, he says it's a great blitz. Gotta take a timeout. All right, 2nd and 19, kind of a brutal sack for us to take right there. We're just gonna take our check down right here. Does actually dive with his user, just barely able to get a first. Here's a great little tip for you guys too. If you're ever in a spot like this, go back to the huddle and actually pick spike here. It's gonna be the most effective thing you can do. And one thing I will mention, I'd almost recommend to have spike favorited in your favorite plays, because sometimes, right, when you're trying to go there to pick one of those plays, it can be a little bit tough to like click on the right formation, especially when you're in a hurry. Just go ahead and favorite that. I don't even personally have it favorited myself yet. It is something that is going to be game changing in these 2-minute drill situations. All right, 2nd and 10 here. He is sending another all-out blitz. We are just going to take our check down here. Get the block. Come on, get the block. I'm going to go out of bounds. I really wanted to be aggressive and try to put him on skates. Try to get the first down, or excuse me, touchdown right there. I think I just had to play it safe and go out of bounds there. All right, we are going to run a little bit of a halfback screen here. We're going to have to see how this does. Get the blocks for me, boys. We are able to get the blocks, able to get 7. Huge stop before half, and I think we do get ball out of half too, potentially to go up 35-17. All right, 1st and 10 here, and we are going to take a shot deep down the field. Now, he actually has a really good switch stick there. And you guys will actually see Heisman Platinum Extender just lit up there. That's the first time in this game I've ever seen Heisman Platinum Extender. Going to be looking for this tight end return route here. So that route I did talk about earlier in this game. Plays really good defense. We should have our post open over the middle. We do. Able to find a good dot there. We catch him sleeping right there on his outside corner, and we are able to get a big 7. All right. Please don't let his running back be gone again. Thank you. All right, really just want to play bend but don't break defense right here is the goal. Having that first down play pick up probably like, 40 yards, give or take. Not ideal. Now he's going to be looking for the RPO bubble right here. I really love the things that they've done to RPO bubbles. A lot easier to defend them this year than in previous years. They've changed a lot of the gap assignments this year to help defend RPO bubbles, which is like a really good thing. I don't know about you guys, but I always found it tough to stop RPO bubbles at times. So they did do a lot of work in terms of updating that stuff. Right there, he's going to be looking for his running back over the middle. I will say, this running back's kind of going off this game. Looks like another counter here. This is how he scored earlier. Man, this counter might be the best run I've seen in the game. Going back to his auto motion, he doesn't run as much as the auto motion when he isn't playing against man, and it makes sense, right? You know, you want to make sure that you have your man-beating plays, but you don't also want to call your man-beating plays when you're playing against zone coverage. 2nd and 10 here. Again, trying to just play bend but don't break defense here, nearing the red zone at this point. Basically, actually at the red zone. Gotta watch out for these speed outs. I know how much he loves these speed outs. And man, if he went like a half step forward, I was gonna get a crazy hit stick there. 3rd and 10, back to his auto motion play right here. I gotta watch out for the running back. Typically likes to hit the running backs on these. Good switch stick by us. I just missed the hit stick. Gonna be looking for my corner route right here. Now I'm highballing, and that's one thing I've noticed about high balls in this game. They're a lot more inconsistent than last year. You know, last year, if you had a player, you know, open, you could almost always highball him. That's just really not the case in this year's game. Right there, good defense by him, but this corner route's almost been money for us all game. Oh, we have takeoff on this. Oh, wow. Last year, I feel like that would have been an automatic touchdown. This year, I'm a little bit surprised that he was actually able to get back there. Maybe I need to loft it. Maybe that's on me. Playing a lot heavier man right there. Just take our check down. Our running back is a little bit worn and torn, but I need him to pick up a yard. Just pick up a yard. Good. He's going to dive tackle. I honestly should try to hurdle there. 1st and 10 here, boys. I'm going to try lofting it this time. Oh, I don't have the space. We're going to try to like box him out. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Sick work. We boxed him out just so he wouldn't have a chance at making a play on the ball. I didn't think I was going to catch it. I really didn't. If I had more space, right, and if it wasn't at the back of the end zone, it's a wide open dot. But for us, look at the throw by DJ with Blackway off the back foot too. I'm going to try running everybody's favorite defense last year, double mug. We're going to see how it does. First time running double mug in this year's game. We'll have to mix in a little bit mid blitz too. Kind of have to see how that does for us, because that really was the meta last year, right? You know, you saw a lot of people running mid blitz, so I'm actually just gonna kind of run it like people did last year. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna use their safety right here, put a ton of people around the line of scrimmage, and I mean, sure, if I can force that every single time, we're gonna win. Now, I don't also want to play too hyperly aggressive. We're gonna play a little bit more bend don't break here. Wow, that corner route. Wow, he must have not had the best pass lead there, because that corner route just fried me. I thought for sure that he was going to be able to find that. He might have the shriek. Oh, wow. So he's going to go back to that tight end corner. That time is an overthrow. It looks like he highballed that himself, and we're able to get the stop. Gonna look for this dig route right here. Great diving catch. 1st and 10 from the red zone. Lots of pressure by him. Gonna take our check down right here. Can we truck our way into the end zone? And we can. Big time touchdown. Oh, are we gonna get civil with the switch? Oh my gosh, he caught that. I thought for sure I was gonna get civil with the switch stick right there. He just highball it, he puts it where only his receiver can catch it. Man, so I've been talking to Civil a decent amount lately, but kind of what he's working on improving, you know, and he's talked a lot about wanting to improve against switch stick, right? That's kind of his big thing, and that's actually really a great thing for a lot of people, is to practice not only your switch stick, but to also improve passing against switch stick too. You know, switch sticking is the biggest feature that I think they've ever added on defense. It is such a game-changing feature within this game. And I think for me, like anything that you can do in terms of just being able to get better at either using switch stick or playing against it, it's going to be so essential. I don't think he has that. Are we going to get him this time? We're able to get a swap. Good swap, boys. Ooh, a little quick hike right here. He's going to be looking for this deep seam route. Ryan Williams stopped his route there. We were able to force an incompletion. 4th and 10 here. Gonna run a little bit of match here. Haven't ran a ton of match this game. We're gonna see how match does. You know, we ran a decent amount in the first half. I felt like he was kind of hooking it, so we're gonna go back to it here. What's the style of coverage that we did get that big pick before half? We mixed it in here and there. Saw a ton right there. We're gonna try to go for a diving swat and just barely missing it. Looks like the Shocky has been using a lot of return routes. I've been kind of looking at his 3 receiver side. Looks like he's just trying to implement how he can use return routes. One of my favorite hot routes in this game. Typically, you always had to have a hot route or a not hot route, excuse me, can't speak, sorry, can't defend and speak at the same time. But typically you always needed to play like smash return, you know, it always had like that little delayed in route. And this year, with it just being a hot route, it is going to be something you guys will see a lot. It's a very popular route that I've seen ever since it's been in the game. You know, I honestly remember like that, like, man, like I think it was like Madden 22. I remember like so many people running that route. One of the best routes in the game. And it really just is like a standard of like, if you want like to really run a good offense of needing that route every year. And right there, he is running a little bit of a zig right here. Zigs down at the red zone, such a good route concept to be able to use. Ooh, don't let him throw the seam. Oh, he's able to highball it over me. I thought he was going to throw his curl on the outside. I think he was probably just scared after that pick earlier this game. All right, onside kick here. Really hoping I can pick this up right here. Nothing crazy, please. Just pick it up. Good. Very good, boys. For all of you guys that have watched to this point in the video, I'm going to show you guys like a sneaky route concept that I think is really good. And it's going to be these stemmed up curls, like crazy far up too. I have played Sybil a couple of times, so he's probably going to be ready for it. I'm just going to take my drag right there. I really just don't want to guess wrong and throw a pick on this. But it is such a good thing to use. I've noticed a lot with these curls in this year's game is that they really just get to good open areas of the field if you send them up probably like 4 or 5 times. Good defense by him. We're going to try taking off with Lagway right here. Get the first kid. Get the first kid. Good fight, Lagway. All right, boys. I think that's going to do it. I'm not going to run up the score against Sybil. He's actually just not taking his timeout. We're just going to go ahead and run a little bit of an inside zone right there. Kind of crazy stiff arm right there. But GG's to Sybil. This was a fun game. UCLA, definitely my favorite offense that I've used so far this year. I think there's a very strong possibility that you guys are going to see at UCLA a lot in my future. Defense, still trying to figure it out. I think defense, ooh, I just fumbled right there. I'm actually going to challenge this. Hold on, I'm challenging this. But defensively, I think this game is you know, it'll be interesting to see what does happen. I think I've got to learn more about stunts. That's one of my big things. I have to learn a lot more about stunts in this game because I think that's going to be a big part of getting pressure in this game. We actually do win the challenge right there. We're just going to let this clock run out. Let's go ahead and show you guys the stats of DJ Lagway after this one. So just looking at the stats, he went 20 of 27 in this game with 470 yards. Definitely one of my favorite passing offenses that I've used so far. Florida is just so fast in this game. They're just very well rounded, right? You guys saw that DJ Lagway extender play. You know, whenever you can have a quarterback make plays like that, it's always going to be big time. Now, defensively, we were able to get the timely stop. It was Johnson that was able to get a really big pick for us. That pick actually kind of changed this entire game. So for us to get that pick was huge. We did have 1 sack with Grayson Howard too, one of my cut demons from last year. But we were able to do enough in this game. Kind of curious to see. Yeah, we played good offense. You know, only 1 third down in the entire game. We weren't even on 4th down this entire game. But big time win from us. GG's to Sybil. Appreciate him a ton for playing me. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments about CFB26. But with that being said, I'll see you guys all next time.